Hello, this is AC Blender Tutorials. In this video I decided to break it up a little bit. So for this one we're just going to be doing the shape key bends on the spider's legs. So first, in last video there was something I forgot. So looking at the spider about here is where we want it to be off the ground. So that seems about right. So we're going to adjust it so the spider stands this tall off the ground in rest position. So in order to do that, we're going to go into the rig, and actually you could see that that was at the 0.5 mark of the position vertically. So we're going to edit the rig. I'm going to select everything except for the root bone because I want the root bone to be at the origin. So grab it in the Z direction and move it up 1/2 a meter. Then I'll do the same thing for the mesh. So I'll have the entire mesh selected, grab it in the Z and move it up 0.5. Go back in pose mode. So now you can see that the root is at the origin, but the spider is lifted off the ground a bit. And if we just do a quick check, yes, you can see that all of the rigging still works. But this time it hangs off the ground a little bit. Okay, now let's move on to applying the shape keys to the legs. So what I'm going to do is, let me hide the armature so we don't need it right now. I'm going to go to the data for the spider, so the spider cave MSH. So you have all of these vertex groups, and now we're going to do the shape keys. So we're going to add a single shape key. This is going to be the basis. And now we're going to add another shape key, and this is going to be bent legs. So we'll go into edit mode. Now the way this is going to be set up is going to be very similar, pretty much the same as the tutorial I have up on my channel from a few years ago. So what we're going to do is move all of these vertices to coincide with these, and then all these vertices to coincide with these vertices. So let's take, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll set it to use the active element for the transformation, and I'm going to do vertex snapping. Actually, it's not done with this, it's done here, snap with active, project onto self. So what I can do is just select all of those vertices, make sure transparency is on, and I'll just box select them like this to make sure I have all of them selected. And now you can see where my active vertex is. Actually, I might be able to, yeah, there we go. Let's do GG to grab slide. There we go, I didn't even need to worry about the snapping anyway. Just do the sliding. And that's all we're going to need for the shape key. So we're going to do it for the other side too. So again, we're going out. And notice that these vertices are fully weighted by the upper leg bone. So these are going to stay put when this leg bends, but the vertex is going to come out. Alright, so there we have our shape key made. And what happens is this is going to apply to all the vertex groups, but we're going to want to lock it. So what I'm going to do is say bend leg 1 dot R, and then this will grab the leg 1 upper dot R. So it's only going to affect those vertices. So if I turn on wire mode and I activate the shape key, you can see this only working, it's only operating on this first leg. And now what I want to do is duplicate this shape key. And let's see, I don't remember if it'll let me copy it. Let me see. Yeah, I think what I'll have to do is copy it from mix. Let's see, here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'll set this to use leg1 upper.r, and I'll call this all legs bent. And what I'll do is I'll just create shape keys from this. So I'll do leg1 upper R to limit the vertex group, turn it completely on, then I will do a new shape from the mix, and I'll call this leg1.r. Okay, and then I'll just turn that, also turn this off, and that works just fine. And then I don't even need well, I'll turn the vertex group on this just to make sure it can't mask anything else. I don't remember how they're going to mix, so I'll just leave it like this for now. Leg1 upper.r. Now I'll go back, turn this one off, turn this one back on. This time I'll change this to leg2 upper.r. Have this completely on. You can see it looks right in the mesh. So now again, do new shape key from mix, and this will be leg2.r. And then we can check this. This is working. Turn both these on. Yeah, so these, oh, I have to turn it on here. Yeah, so let's turn this off. I'm just going to see what this does. Okay, so yeah, it would work. They override each other, so we could do it this way. They mix favorably. So just for simplicity, I'm not going to worry about adding the vertex groups. But what I'm going to do is turn these off as I go, just to do one at a time using this shape key. And I'm just going to step through and do all of the shape keys. So it'd actually be easier just to change it this way. Leg3 to upper R is the only thing that's on. New shape key from mix. Leg3.r. It's just the busy work of going through all of this. You can check it. Looks good. Disable it. Go back to here. Leg4 upper.r. New shape key from mix. Leg4.r. Go back here. This is going to be leg1 upper.l. I can see that it's set over here. New shape from mix. leg1.l. Disable it. Go back to this one. Leg2 upper.l. New shape key from mix. Leg2.l. Disable. Leg3. See, it shows up right correctly. So now we'll do leg4. And let's see, it looks good. Okay, let's turn this off. We'll turn all of these on. And now we'll just try them out just to make sure that all of them work. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all of them work. So now the next step that we're going to do is we need to make the drivers dynamic. So let's use the first leg. That's where we'll start. So let me turn the textures back on. I'll unhide the mesh. I'm going to pose mode so I can select the bone. Right now I'm selecting the mechanism bone. I don't want that. Click it again to select the upper.r. You can see the bone name here. I can also just select it over here. That might be easier for this stage. And so what I'm going to do is, actually I want this bone, all of that, and this is the bone that I want. So I'll look at the rotation. So it's an XY Euler. It's the rotation X that I want. So what I'm going to do is copy this data path. And actually, I think I can copy it as a new driver, yes. And then I will go to the shape key for leg 1 through the leg1.r. On the value, I'll do paste to driver. And now I'll open the driver's editor. So here's the driver's editor, and this is for the cave, the spider cave MSH. Here's my key. And I'm driving the shape key value for leg 4.l. Did I click on the wrong one? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, wrong one. Let me just change that. Paste the driver there, and then I'll clear this driver. Okay, let's see, do I still have it open? Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now it's the leg1.r. And what I'm going to do is I want the, well, let me just make sure. Yeah, let's see, this is all set up correctly, and this is going to be in radians. So technically, this would use a scripted expression. So I'll just show you how this would work. So it's the tangent of the angle divided by 2 from the way I have this set up correctly. And now, yeah, looks good. Let me check, see how well this works. Let's see, let me hide the whole armature so you can see it, the mesh better. You can see it a nice, clean, perfect straight bend. So now, now that's the correct key setup. But I don't want to do this. I mean, I can, but I prefer not to have scripted expressions if I don't need them. So what I'm going to do, first to the F-curve, I can actually simplify this. I can just delete both of these keyframes, and it's just going to turn it into a one-to-one. I've had stability issues with disabling the F-curve here, so I just delete the points. So for the drivers, let's see. I don't want the scripted expression, so I'm going to go to the, actually I'm just going to call this rotation X. So what I'm going to do is go to the modifiers, and I'm going to do a built-in, I believe it's built-in function, sine tangent, and the amplitude, let's see, where is it? The phase multiplier will be 0.5. So this is the multiplied, so you have tangent of theta. This phase multiplier is being multiplied by that theta, and then the amplitude is being multiplied by the tangent function itself. So this 0.5 is the rotation divided by 2 term, and then we just have the tangent. We don't have to change the amplitude or any of the offsets. This alone should do it. So what I can do here is just say some value, average, whatever, And then what happens is this value will then be put as an input into this built-in function. So update dependencies. And now when we pose this, we're going to find that it still works. Actually, it's going to be easier to see over here. Oh, I had that one set up, getting a little bit ahead of myself. Go to object mode, hide the armature, you can see that it's still working. So now we have our working driver. So what we'll do is go back into the driver editor, and I'm going to copy this driver. I don't have to do that on the driver editor, but what I can do is copy the driver. I can paste it for each of these values. See, I might be able to just paste it here. Yep, there we go. That's faster. Okay, so I just pasted the driver onto all of these, but the drivers are referencing the wrong bones. So if I go to leg 2, you can see that it's reading the rotation of leg 1. So I just have to modify each one of these to point to the right bone. So bone 3, bone 4. This is going to be, let's see, it's for bone 1, but it's .l. So you can see that this says .r. So we change that to .l. This one has to be changed to .l, and it's going to be leg 2. Leg 3, .l. This is leg 4.l, and this is going to finish all of the drivers. So now what we'll do is close this, and then let's check it out. Let's see how well it works. Pose mode. Let's see. It's not so easy to see. Here you can see this one's working. It's really hard to see that one. You can kind of see this one working. Yeah, there you see it poking out. Let me go ahead and fan these out. Do this to individual origins, rotate Z. That's not going to work now. I do all of them at the same time. I'm just fumbling around. Okay, now I can see everything better. So we'll just take all of these, we'll bend them down for 90 degrees. 90, 90, 90. So all of those look good. Going from here, all of these look good, so far anyway. Okay, there we go. So all the sharp bends are working. And then of course we also set up our spider so that it was higher off the ground. And let me see, is that everything for this video? Yeah, that's it. So anyway, I appreciate watching the video. In the next video, we're going to be actually rigging up the bone constraints, and I've decided to add a few more bones, so we'll get to that in the next video. Thank you. Bye.